point I'd make is, with most of these discussions, is that individual facts don't make a pattern. And so thinking about a pattern is a different question. And the premise of where's the M&A business assumes it's one business. But it isn't one business, it's a series of businesses. And one of the basic issues that you have with people's analysis is they tend to revert back to that which is familiar to them, which is the last big cycle in the United States. But the world has changed, the global economy has changed, there are lots of different dynamics. So there'll be, by industries, different factors creating the evolutions of structures. By geographies, there are very different factors. What's going on in India, Brazil, China, so-called BRIC type countries, Russia, are very different than what's going on in New Jersey. And again, what's going on in New Jersey is different than what's going on in the biotech market. And you can see that if you come back and say, if things are so terrible, why is the Dow at so relatively a high level? And it's because you have, and I'm not justifying the Dow or predicting it, but you have a lot of offsetting and contradictory forces. So the short answer is the M&A business, whatever that means, will be okay, but the form of it will mutate in a number of different ways. There'll be more recapitalizations, there'll be more investments, there'll be more cross-border activities. Certain industries will be booming, some of them will be forced to generate a lot of split-ups, asset sales, things of that sort. At the moment, when you talk about the pipeline, the strategics are getting much more interested in the acquisition business because they anticipate that the competition is less, price may be lower, they do have the financing and the access to financing. And that's different, but for people who think, and Leon's the person to talk to, that the LBO groups are going to go out of business, that's just such a complete misunderstanding of the nature, capability, and resources of these entities that you really have to rethink it. And then, for the people who think that there's some sort of LBO determinism, that is, worldwide activity is driven by what happens in the LBO market, what they're forgetting is actually all these country funds are larger in amount than all the LBO funds stuck together. And so, there are a lot of dynamics going on, and I think for people in the industry, the idea is keep your eyes open and understand the patterns of change, and you'll do fine.